Hello, motherfuckers! Trying to make that popular sound, you know. I always have to start all podcasts and phone calls that way.
Yeah, I see that. So who do we have today?
So we have Sifu or Anthony here today. I'm super, super excited for you to be here.
Thank you so much for the invite, and I'm happy to be part of your growth. You know, it's nice to be the first guest. It's like, whoa, okay, sure. You know, I just met you guys.
Are you you are a clone. Are you sure you're not a clone of Joe Rogan? That's a compliment,
I
man.
think is Joe Rogan a clone of you?
This is true. Like, I get this like everywhere I go. I mean,
That's crazy.
I am his doppelganger. It'll be really great to like meet him. I'll give him like a stare down. And be like,
I just think we shouldn't even have said anything. We should just have introduced.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan, everybody.
Yo,
What the fuck? You know,
that's
so,
crazy.
Actually, I'm looking forward to meeting him. He seems like a really cool dude to like just chill and talk with. You know, I like his viewpoints on life. And
Yeah.
he's real. You know?
Very blunt, very straight up, transparent.
Okay.
He says it.
For some reason, you can't be like that these days.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Actually, I want you to just do a quick introduction of who you are, so people know, and also your name.
Yeah,
We're very curious to know.
My name is Anthony Fontana. People call me Sifu. That means teacher. You know, in Cantonese, I teach. The main principle I teach is Jeet Kune Do. That's Bruce Lee's hybrid martial art. So Jeet Kune Do means the way of intercepting fists. Basically, it paved the way for mixed martial arts in the late 60s and 70s. So a few people were doing it then where Bruce Lee understood that you have to adapt to the multiple ranges of combat. And what do I mean by that? You have your boxing range, your kicking range, your ground, on the wall, or with a weaponry too. So he understood the importance of cross-training and it all. And plus with strength and conditioning as well to keep the physique up. But also Jeet Kune Do is art and philosophy. It's a lot of it based on like Taoism. It's not just hitting. It's moving through life as well. Within Jeet Kune Do, there's about 27 different martial arts. So since I've been practicing it and studying it since 1998, I haven't stopped. But the beauty of Jeet Kune Do, it's very individualized and it evolves because we can't do things that we've done 10 years ago. Obviously, with the popularity of MMA in America plus jiu-jitsu and stuff, so you have to like up your game, change things, try things out. Obviously, keeping it simple always works, but you gotta stay with the now. Like same thing when it comes to like sports science and how to train properly and recovery and all that stuff. So some people, it's interesting with Jeet Kune Do. There's like two sectors. There's people that teach the nucleus, like everything that Bruce Lee taught, 1967 to 71, and then the people that have evolved from that. That's the Inosanto clan. That's my lineage. So Dan Inosanto was Bruce Lee's best friend. When Bruce Lee passed away, he was one of three men to carry on the training methods. But also Inosanto brought his martial arts too, which was the Filipino martial arts, also known as Kali Eskrima Arnis, with the weapons and stuff like that. Very much like empty-hand combat. So a prime example of what that is, have you ever seen the movie The Bourne Ultimatum? Jason all that choreography, that's all Filipino martial arts and silat. So I specialize in that as well, and the weapons. But I've been boxing since I'm 14 years old, and I opened up a martial art academy in Brooklyn, New York, with one of my teachers in 2017. That's when I obtained the title of Sifu, because I'm always a student, right? But when I opened the school and then I became a true instructor under my teacher, then I was handed that. That took me about 20 years to get that title. So, and then it's beyond that too. It's like, we're teachers, we're guides, we're mentors, we're therapists. It's not just about violence, it's finding peace through the violence. And then obviously the art. So all my clients or my students, it's really interesting. It's very individualized. But I moved to Miami 3 years ago to expand what I did, but then COVID, I had a partnership on the beach, but it didn't work well, and COVID kind of set it back. So now I'm down here like a roaming samurai. So I'm with Boxer Gym now. I'm helping them grow. I handle their martial art department just because of my knowledge with the gym and like putting together the right people to keep those classes going and the oomph rather. So that's me in a nutshell. I'm from New York City, born and raised my whole life. From Chinatown, literally that area. And my family settled there in 1890, and I'm like the first one to ever leave. So like everybody's still, New York City right there. And I'm the one to move to Miami. So I'm trying to get everybody to migrate down here now. So
it's way better, right?
Oh, no, so much better. The weather. I mean, no comparison. I mean, we only get like good 16, maybe 17 weeks of good weather in New York. Then it's just
Oh,
miserable.
I know. I used to live there.
Yeah, you know. So it's like you go on the train, you see people with just miserable faces. You're like, lovely.
You know what? I'm very curious to know like how you got into all of this. Do you
Okay.
think there was like a specific event in your life where you're just like,
yeah.
this is my passion?
Well, passion. I mean, I did it from the ages of 8 to about 15. I was bullied a lot, and I couldn't take it anymore. And obviously, you know, you watch all these movies and like, wow, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. Like, that's why I took up boxing. Hold on a second.
What is going on?
See, because it's a dramatic moment. See the music.
It's like the soundtrack
You know,
of our
it's
life here.
So here we go.
Are they gonna interrupt us again? Oh, it's a new guy. It was the new guy. Okay, so either way, I just wanted you to repeat. So you said there was a specific event in your life that kind of made you get into all of this?
Yeah, no. So growing up, I mean, like I said earlier, between the ages of 8 and 15, around that span, I was bullied a lot. You know, New York really wasn't a pretty place. Never was. I mean, so things happen. You know, robbed at gunpoint. You know, jumped for my jacket, beat up for this. I don't even know. But there was one specific event happened over the summertime where I was jumped by about 5 people and kind of like really set me off to never for myself to never allow something like that to happen again. And then I got really serious into I started boxing at 14, but then I started like, you know, I'm 14.
Wait, how old were you when you got jumped?
Between ages of 8 and 15, I got jumped all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, all the time.
And
It is
these people that jumped you, were they younger or
they're
older
younger,
people?
like
Yeah.
older, younger. It doesn't matter. I mean, you know, at 11 years old, I was robbed at gunpoint. I have no, you know, I have no idea how old he was. He might have been 18, 19.
Did you know the people?
No, this was random. This was just random. You know, New York City, hey, you know, people think it's all, no. This is what, 1993, 94, you know, so then I got into boxing, then I found Aikido, and then in 97, around that time, I found Jeet Kune Do and Filipino martial arts, and then I got so involved in it, you know, because I was saying to myself, look, I really want to defend myself, and I had crazy teachers at the time.
Yeah.
I realized, you know, one, how powerful I became, how I can easily hurt someone, but with that, it showed me control, you know, and then I started letting it out in the ring. Now, I've been into a bunch of street fights, whatever.
I was just going to say, have you ever actually had to use this in self-defense?
The last time was about 17 years ago, and I broke a stick over someone's face because I was at a pool hall, and stupid drinking, whatever happened. Someone threw one of the balls at me, and I'm like, you're trying to kill me. And just cracked it right over their face, like the face split in half, and I ran for my life, and I'm like, shit works. Never hit somebody. You know, I never hit somebody with a weapon like that. But again, it's like, you know, it's like enraged self-defense. Now, knowing what I know now, if I went back 17 years, I would have de-escalated it, not done that. But I was a younger man. See, so that's the whole thing too. You know, people ask me all the time with all the martial arts and stuff that I do, how would I react? Now, that all comes down to how you were trained.
Yeah.
So have you ever heard of something called like stress inoculation? So stress inoculation means you're pushed to a point where your heart rate is so high, and then what can you remember? It's basically mimicking an adrenaline dump. Because you ever almost get into a fight, you know that you start shaking a little bit, you feel like, oh God. I remember one time this guy was like 300 pounds, and I'm like, you know, he came in, he looked all messed up on drugs, and my family has a business in New York. And he's sitting down, he's looking at me with these like crazy eyes, and my hand is just on a giant bottle of water. And I'm like one of those big leaders, and I'm like, all right. This guy's 300 pounds. I'm looking at, I got to crack this over his head, and I can't give him a chance to recover. But like, you're like, right? And like, thank God nothing happened. I'm like, because like more people came and like were staring at him, and he saw that there was like 10 versus him, and he got up and he left. But that's the whole thing. When you practice martial arts, you want to study the art of fighting without fighting, because knowing what you can do.
Yeah.
Knowing, like, I have no idea what will happen now. I haven't had a conflict in 17 years, but I've sparred and I've boxed and I've competed.
Yeah.
So I can control. But in the street, it's no holds bar. You have no idea. You have no idea what's going on. You have no idea if they have a weapon on them, where their friends are. And then also, too, you have to think about your life and what do you have to lose? You know, so with me, it's say if I get into a fight and I hurt someone, I could be Googled. And so then in court, all this stuff could be used against me, even though I didn't start the fight. So I need to make sure my hands are up and I'm like, please, I don't want any problems.
Mm-hmm.
Please, like, come on, let's go get a drink. Whatever.
So you also have to be able to determine, can you do that, or do you risk your life doing that?
Or you do things to learn how to detain and hold,
and
not just break. But can you do that under the stress? How big is the person? How this, and then there's an issue with all that too, because again, you don't know what they have on them. Are they on drugs? So it's like,
do they have a weapon or not?
Yeah, so it's really, the way I was trained was to like end the situation. Just terminate, and that's just from my upbringing. Now there was my teacher that I had. He told me a lot of people were afraid of me, like as I was going up in rank, mainly because he broke it down like this. He's like, Anthony, he's like, you're that tiger that knows how to use its claws and teeth. They could play all nice, but then if somebody, you'll fucking go and you can execute, right? I'm like, he's like, you can't really do that to everyone. I was like, then why? I mean, I'm a peaceful person. They want to hit me hard. I'm like, all right, give them a piece of humble pie. I ain't fucking around. You put that, you put that ego in check. Like, chill. So that's why I like to train with higher belts, because they understand the calm and like, all right, look, we're just studying. We're not competing for a belt or anything like that. Even when I spar these days too, I go light. I get cracked in them. I hit them. All right, I'm gonna hit you as hard as you hit me. Just understand that, and it just comes with like time. Like, you just don't care. It's about having fun. Really, at the end of the day. I know I went off on the topic, but like bullying was the thing that made me.
We don't have a topic. We can talk about anything.
I was talking about what got me into the martial arts, and then what made me stay was when I became an apprentice under my teacher, and the fact that like I can give back, because I'm really passionate about what I do. Like, I really love it because it's the human body to me is so fascinating.
Oh yeah.
And what we can do with it and what we're capable of, mind, body, soul. But then when you start studying human anatomy and kinesiology, it all made sense when I started thinking about joint by joints. And I'm like, then this is like martial arts, just or even like with weaponry and like understanding where to, the switches and the timers are, and how to take someone's life out, So it's like, whoa, I'm the geek like that. Fascinated.
No, I think it's amazing. I mean, for anything, I would love to take a class with you after I compete. And it's the same, when I bodybuild for a show too. It's like, you figure out all of these pieces. It's so much more than just going and lifting a weight. It's so much more. And as you say, it's all up here. Mindset. It's in the mind.
Yeah, that's the truth. A lot of people understand mindset. Mindset is everything. But like, it's funny. It's like, so when you enter a dojo, when you enter the gym, right, try to leave all the shit outside, and it's your microcosm, and you're like, okay, all right, now this is what I'm working on. I'm concentrating on my breath, I'm concentrating on my hold, my posture, So that's why with martial arts and like the beauty of the Jeet Kune Do mindset, it's there's martial art and there's martial combat, sport combat. So you have all these different things. Like the martial art would be like the forms, like working katas, right, and all that stuff. And that's the breathing aspect. But also, if you think about it, with breathing, it's dynamic tension. So your strength comes from you get in tune with like the center, like the central nervous system and the chakras, and how to stay aligned and push through and fight, punch someone with your whole body. Bruce Lee said, I don't hit, it hits. It meaning the force, the whole force, gravity through your body, or when you lift, right? Same principle. Like the whole body lifts, not just the chest and the back. Like everybody's like, this is just a chest exercise. No, it's a total body exercise when it comes to the mains, right? Similar concept. You just have to look at it. Everything's linked together. You just need a different point of view or different perspective, rather.
Yeah. So like if I come to you my first time and I've never... I've tried out kickboxing and boxing and stuff, but if I come the first time and I say like I'm interested, like not in a specific style of it, like
so,
what would you want to show me?
First, what I would do is I need to
stay right there in that mic.
Okay, right here. I would have to do like a quick movement analysis to see where you're at. I'll give you a general overview. Usually when I always, in my complimentary session, I ask them, what do you want? What do you need? So I go over what I think is the best for you. So mobility, stability issues. So I'll teach you really quick hands, really quick feet, footwork. If you have to fall, how do you fall? Because you might slip, and how to get back up. And then these are things you'll never forget. Or also too, being that you're a woman, I'll teach you quick self-defense tips that'll save your life, because you gotta basically simplify. Simple things that will. You have nails, right? How do you utilize those nails?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I love this because I take shooting classes.
Yeah, that's great.
But
Awesome.
I told my
that's
shooting teacher, I told my teacher like, honestly, like, I love to know this, but what I want to know even more is like, honestly, either to how to disarm somebody or basically just end it.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to ever
you know,
shoot somebody,
when you draw your gun, you have to shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
I mean, so
I
that's
mean,
the
hopefully
thing.
I will never get to that.
No, but make
obviously.
sure you're about 21 feet away. There's this like whole rule of thumb. Did you ever watch that? You know, the whole 21 feet. You know about that? So by drawing your gun, like if you're closer than 21 feet, the attacker can hurt you with that kind of weapon or projectile or something like that. So keep that general rule of thumb. So as you draw, back up. So you're, so keep that in mind. When it comes to disarming, and I'm not a fan about disarming guns. Usually if somebody has a gun on you, they're 97% chance you're going to die.
Yeah.
So I don't do gun disarms because it's fancy for movies.
Yeah.
And a prime example, like you've shot a gun, right? And have you touched it after? How hot?
Yeah.
So
I mean, you even know sometimes when you shoot in the freaking.
You grab a gun, right? Somebody pops it off, and even if it goes offline, you have the shell that just got discharged. You're putting your hand on it.
Yeah, I got the metal jacket in my sports bra once.
It's like, So it's a little bullshito, we say it like that. But when it comes to weaponry and knife disarms will happen accidentally. It happens in a struggle, but the knife educates the hand on where to route, and also your hand-eye coordination and your response time. So everything has its place. So if you train with a knife, right, that helps your hand-eye coordination, helps your defense. And also your footwork. You got a shiny object coming at you. You're going to move. It's like chasing chicken. So I had my teachers, though, and I paid for this. I had them come at me with live knives.
Yeah.
And so they would tape the blade up and only have like the tip. So it get cut. Oh, shit. It's like, it's a different.
I think if you're on a professional level of this stuff, at some point you actually have to try it for real because it's different.
Because you don't know if does this work. That's why sparring. That's why there are three honest martial arts. I say this all the time. My teacher told me this too, and it makes so much sense. You have boxing, Muay Thai, and Jiu-Jitsu. You cannot lie in them. You can tell who's a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. You can tell if you got boxing hands, and you can tell who's a tough Thai fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, and then the truth comes out in sparring. You might look good hitting the bag and pads.
That is so true, man.
That's why when I see these people making these videos, I'm like, okay, let's go in the ring. Let's see what you got. How do you react when you get hit?
Yeah.
Are you a deer in headlights? Do you know how to get it? You know how to bring it back? Can you go? I remember one time this kid sparred me. We did a 3-minute round, and like the first time I'm sparring him, and like I throw my jab out just as like my probe, whatever, and he comes at me with a 1-2. He cracks me really hard, and I start bleeding. I'm like, oh. He's like, oh my god. He's like, you're bleeding. I go, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, we got 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. I go, I beat the shit out of him. I'm like, all right, you gonna hit me that hard? He just gave up, and he just stopped fighting, and then at the end, he was crying. I'm like, I go, listen, you don't come out like a bull charging unless you're ready. I was like, I'm calm, collected. And I felt so bad, but I'm like, you're gonna cut. Nah, you don't do that because you're new in this game, and it's like, chill with the ego. You're gonna get hurt.
Yeah, because sparring is a technical thing. Very technical. What are your weaknesses are, it's mainly for that. It's not, but some people take it to the next level, especially like I've been in there too. Like I've gotten cracked, but from doing the same thing. So it's just kind of like,
it's a learning curve.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's very humbling, then you realize like what you need to work on. But you could talk to all professional fighters, anyone. Some days are great, some days are bad.
Yeah.
Some days you have no legs. Sometimes you have no stamina. Sometimes you're thinking about the fucking landlord that just called you, and you're like in there. I mean, I remember when I would like fight and like go and like to the ring, and I would hear my mom. I'm like, why is she here? And like my hearing focused on her voice, not my call. I'm like, fuck. But sparring is your truth.
Yeah.
And then over time I realized too, it's like, how do you put things to the test? Keep it simple. Right, so like learn 1 or 2 things and try to pull it off in your training, right?
Yeah,
it's like then try to take it up with the sparring. That's why like one of the classes that I teach, it's called Kong 30 Boxing. So Kong is a hybrid striking system that blends Western boxing, Filipino boxing, and Thai boxing. It was conceptualized by my coach in Geneva, Switzerland. His name's Lionel Fabric. And I'm his right hand. I represent the system here in America. I'm the only coach right now. We had this great plan, but COVID set us all back. He was a 12-year boxing veteran. He trains Olympians. He's in Geneva, Switzerland. He's from France originally. Degrees in sports science and all that. And we became friends on Facebook many years ago because I was doing a Filipino martial art demonstration. He's like, that's great. He goes, you look good, but you're not zoning. I'm like, okay, I know how I'm zoning. So zoning means angling, right? I'm just taking head on, because if you fight somebody head on, it's 50-50. The key is to own the angles, right? And that's basically a general rule for any combat sport. And I'm like, look, I understand what you're talking about. And he's like, he goes, you're cute. I like you. I'm like, fuck you. Like, because Pump is Frenchman. And we became boys ever since. It's been 5 years. The thing with the Kong Dirty Boxing is you have to see what you could pull off for real, because boxing is the dominant striking art. All this magical mumbo jumbo with martial arts, you can't really pull it off with.
I've seen it.
Fight. No, you can't.
Seen it.
So this is why I like Lionel, because when I met him, he said, "Come at me with everything you know," and I went at him, and he fucking countered everything, and I was like, "Whoa, okay." And because the beauty of it is like, the more you know, the more you don't know. So I'm training, since, I'll be 26 years. And I still continue to study and train and evolve. And even my teaching, right? I cut out the bullshit. I give people what they truly need. Yeah. And like, I've had teachers over the years that milk me. I'm like, why am I doing the same thing? Is this really going to save my life? Is it going to help someone? Like, I'm learning all these like long, like forms and shit like that. I'm like, why am I spending my fucking time and money? Like, I would go to Vienna, Austria, and train out there for like, months and come back and forth and stuff like that. And go to California, the same thing. And I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm good at it, but like, if I need to share this with someone, why? I'm not looking to make an instructor. I'm looking to make a martial artist that I teach you something and you're going to use it to save your fucking life. Yep. Or if you're a stunt choreographer or whatever, all right, we use it to make a cool movie scene. But it's just, I'm more of the real. Yeah. Because I
think that whether or not we love it and we think it's fun, at the end of the day,
it's for self-defense.
That's kind of what we want it for.
Martial art. Martial means suited for war.
Yeah.
Art is the art of it too. So it's like, when people look at me like, oh, you're dangerous. I know what I am. It's like, I don't want to do this, but I could diffuse a situation easily. But also it's like your character. Like, I'm very numb to a lot of things. And that happened from 9/11. So you see that picture that you have right there in New York? So I lived 4 blocks from the World Trade Center when that happened.
Yep.
Wow. Very close. And the first plane missed my building by 50 feet.
You were in your building when it happened?
Oh, yeah. I was 18 years old. Wow. And I saw everything. Every single thing. The only thing I didn't see were people hitting the floor. But I saw them jumping. I saw burning. I mean, 22 years ago, I even remember what it smells like. I smelled death and war. But that... I'm playing the victim here. We can't control that. I was in therapy for a while too. I mean, I still have post-traumatic stress from it. But,
do you know people in the building?
I know 2 people that died. Again, it's my neighborhood. I grew up there. Even like the bombing in '92, like I remember that too. Wow. And then it made me more high-strung and nervous. But again, when I saw the way I saw people die, I'm numb. Like, honestly, it's like, I can't erase those thoughts. So it's like when I fight, and I'm like, all right, if you're going to hit me, you better knock me out. So,
I agree, man.
I don't, it's like, all right, I get hit. All right, good shot. But see, that's good and bad. It's like, not that I'm a kamikaze,
It is the thrill, though. It is the thrill, because it's like
you're going to do a class with him, right?
Oh, definitely.
Did you already?
No, we have to get it in.
So I kind of want to see it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I mean, guy's gonna he's gonna
ass.
wreck me up. I mean, we're talking about I do boxing and I do a little bit of Muay Thai, but this guy does. The video that you showed me was
incredible. That's me. That's me. That's the high level, and I still need to learn more. Like, remember, so under Lionel, I'm only like level 1.
Wow.
I don't even know what that means. Like, we don't like ranks and belts and shit like that. Even though I'm a 4th degree black belt, like whatever the fuck that means. It's just I remember I read something and it's like on the belts, when you get a black belt, you can finally call yourself a student.
Yeah. What do you call yourself before that?
No. Well, so that's the thing. It's like, can you? Obviously, I'm probably just a student in progress. I really don't know, because
future student.
Because it's all commitment. Many people give up. Many people, or even like Jeet Kune Do. It's like, even though I have a school and I have my team there, like I'm where Bruce Lee was at too. At a point, he got rid of his schools and he only taught it privately because you don't want to feed the ego. It's like level, like you have to own what I'm showing you. There's no, here's a belt for a reward. Here you go. But it's like, no, if you don't own it, why then move on? Like you take boxing, like simple principle, 1-2.
Yeah.
A lot of people know how to throw a 1 or 2,
Yeah.
step and cry. I used to have issues too with that. But the 1-2 is very simple and it can knock someone out. Sugar Ray.
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome. Whoop, lean back, that's it. Fight's over. Keep it simple, but like repetition.
Should I let him punch me in the stomach too? He punched me in the stomach on
Yeah.
on my Instagram story. Because somebody asked for the video, so I let him do it.
I learned how to breathe.
Yeah, my
too,
abs
so.
just...
Yeah, you gotta. What did I tell you when I punched you in the
You
stomach?
gotta breathe
Yeah.
out. Yeah, so.
Breathe out. I like what you said earlier about the out angling, because it's so true. The more you out angle your opponent, because he's going forward, he's thinking about just going forward, throwing haymakers. You out angle him, you hit him with every angle. It's just like, it makes sense.
See, that's the art of boxing. Fighting,
of course.
Because, again, head on is 50-50, it's a slugfest.
Yeah.
But then when you start angling off, that's boxing, and then you fill the pockets. Like you put your hands up, right? You have like have your hands up. Picture like you're fighting. You have sectors. So here would be sector 1. That's sector 2, sector 3, sector 4 is the belly. Sector 5 is anything below the belly.
Yep.
So you learn moving through them. How do I get around it? Right now, it's also principles in life. How do I get around life? What strike?
I think it's the same with everything. I mean, I'm a photographer, and the first thing when I teach people photography, I said, think in every possible angle there is.
Yeah, of course.
Down, up, side, left, right. Like, you can shoot an object from every single
and
angle.
you don't know that one little lighting and the reflection.
Yeah.
You get the perfect shot. Yeah, no, totally. See, like we all have artistic minds. Again, this is like you got to be in tune with that as well. Like the yin and yang. It's like, all right, where's my mind? Is it more on math and science or art and culture? Right. So it's like. This is why, like I said, the human body, we're incredible machines.
Yeah.
All of us.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing with boxing too, and combat sport, it's also, it's a thinking man's art, the woman thinking person's art, right? And you got to, when you fight, it's better to understand the concept to break their mind and break their will. Mine is breaking their body, right? Because you start doing that, you start winning the fight.
Yeah.
Because they'll get frustrated. Why can't I hit you? How are you countering me? Whoa, how'd you just get to that side? Like, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
And then they come to a point where you see them give up and their will is gone, and boom, and then you just take it. You just take it from them, and it's to each your own ego. You get that boost of morale, but again, anytime you do train with someone, you want a worthy adversary. Because you want to grow with someone.
Yeah, of course.
If you're the more aggressor, if you're more experienced, then work on your defense.
Yeah.
And you help and you build them up. Like, come on, just try to hit me. This is what you do.
I agree.
But while you're getting your reps in on evasion or whatever it is, and that's good because you don't know what to expect. That's another thing too between combat sport and then the street fighting. Guys that are in that just do sport, they don't understand. Like they're fighting someone that understands proper technique and form and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Then you go on the street, it's wild.
Oh, yeah. It must be very unexpected.
Or it's like all these like jiu-jitsu people. Just do this and detain them on the floor. I go, have you ever rolled on concrete?
It's not
You
fun.
ever roll on the ground? Like I've got my face pushed in on cement. And it's like, it is not pretty at all. And it's and then also it's like, even like when you submit someone hold, you cannot be on the ground. You got to be more in a scout position where one knee is on the back or the shoulder, or like, holding at the shoulder girdle, while you can still look around because you have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, and when you try to punch the guy in the face, if you're on top of him, you're going to be hitting cement on top of everything else.
Exactly. You can miss, like bump you off and stuff like that. So you got to, again, spatial awareness.
Even punching somebody in the face hurts your hands.
Absolutely.
On top of that.
Yeah,
So
well, that's why I like to smack.
open palm.
Open palm, you get more of a reach. You get more of a reach. Elbows.
Bitch slap.
Yeah.
This. The elbows.
Elbows are great. Now,
Elbows.
Elbows, you can either like blunt object or you cut them. But a slap, like grating that is to do this.
People underestimate the bitch slap.
No, and it's crazy. Now, here's a self-defense tip, right? So you keep your hand cupped like this.
Yeah.
Right? You slap someone in their ear. See if they
Rings all day.
The necessary equilibrium up, and then you can run for your life. That split second, you be as loud as you can, and you fucking run. That's the whole thing. You live to see another day. Yeah. But it's like these are little things. Like look, you're a big dude, right? I hit you in the ear and the eye. That's it, right? I like giving you a chance to come at me. So
that's crazy.
These are things you got to think about.
I have something that I want you to talk about.
Okay.
That we talked about the other day. So the autoimmune disease.
Yeah. Okay. So
It's that I have a lot of people because I have a lot of not issues. My body is just I always thought that autoimmune disease. I do not, but I struggle with. I can't gain weight. I can't gain muscle. I lose weight so fast. I have all the food sensitivities in the world. And then you told me this the other day, and I was like, wow. Please.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about it.
In 2007, 2007, I was diagnosed with Graves' disease. So Graves' disease is an autoimmune disease that attacks the thyroid. Now, for every 8 women, it happens to 1 man. Now, both my grandmothers had it, so it was bound to happen to someone in my family. But I also think it was stress-induced from 9/11.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of links to because I mean, we were so close. And then.
So you think his stress basically triggered?
Well, that and maybe all the things that I was breathing in as well. See, we don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different cancers that are coming out. And my doctor said too, look, we have no idea. Like what's going to happen to us in 20 years. But stress and trauma, triggers a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, what do we have? What's it called? It's like a skin thing. Shingles.
Yeah.
Shingles is, if you have the chickenpox, it's brought out by stress.
Yeah.
And it's like the worst thing to ever have. And it's like, I don't wish that on anyone. But again, stress.
I never had it.
No, I don't.
I was the only kid.
But the thing is, with any disease or anything that's wrong with us, right?
Yeah.
It's our environment.
Yeah.
That's how you got to look at it first. Like, how we grew up, what we've been surrounded with, what are we stimulated by on television, on this, on that. And it's like all these triggers, the human body, we vibrate, right? And we have this vibration, and then we're getting crazy vibrations here and crazy vibrations here. Sometimes we may have an ailment if we're not in tune with finding the calm within, finding the peace.
Yeah.
But this doesn't have, what I just said to you, it took me till I was maybe 33, 34 to tap into that.
Yeah.
It's
so
weird.
this,
It's
or is it treatable?
Yeah, well, okay, so now I had it really bad. I was working in the music business at the time too. So I'm working 16-hour days, 6 days a week. I'm not eating well. Music business, sex, drugs, rock and roll like crazy. It was pretty wild.
That could be another podcast.
Oh yeah, we got to get you. We need a story about that.
It's
Definitely.
Crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I got a few. Not today. But my lifestyle was very bad. And then I was smoking at the time as well. Too. I haven't had a cigarette now. March 19th, made 16 years.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
That's dope.
So, but again, so I remember I'm working at the studio, and my coworker's like, "Yeah, you okay? You lost a little weight." I'm like, "I'm all right, I think." So I'm looking at the console one day, sweating a lot, and then all of a sudden my vision gets really blurry, and I just almost collapsed, and I'm like, "Whoa, something's wrong." Next 2 nights, I'm waking up in puddles of sweat like crazy. So my ex-wife at the time, she's like, go for a blood test, go see what's up. So I get a blood test, and sure as hell, my thyroid's all fucked up. It's 5 times the normal size. Wow. And so I was a candidate for either surgery or radiation. So my doctor said radiation would have been the best thing for me to do to destroy the gland, and then I have to take the thyroid hormone every day. Had I known now, too, I could have probably eaten a lot of cabbage and went the holistic way, and that could have balanced out my T1 and T3 hormones. But the fact that the disease was so bad, my eyes were bulging, and I needed to do
So
this.
did it do you think it just come overnight like that? The problems?
No, the problems, they accumulated. The first was the weight loss, then it was my vision, then it was the dizzy spells, then it was puddles of sweat. And I was like, what the fuck? I mean, I thought I had diabetes or something. I had no idea. And then I did this. And then what's fucked up is the radiation that I took. It was like a day or two later, I experienced radiation pain. And that's fucked up. I just felt like my insides were just burning up. I dropped to the floor for about 20 minutes, had a crazy episode. The pain was fucking crazy.
Did you know this was going to happen?
They mentioned that something might happen, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's like, and then that was really fucked up, and so I went from 160 pounds to 130 pounds in about a month, and that's where
And you were still kind of eating similarly?
Well, I mean, I was eating worse. I mean, I wasn't.
But you weren't eating less.
No, I wasn't.
You dropped weight.
No, I just
anyway.
It just kept coming off, and since then, though, I have photos of what I look like, and I never want to be like that again. I was very unhealthy, quote unquote. With the hormone, I got to take a pill every day because I don't have a thyroid, and I regulate it by eating cabbage and stuff like that.
Still today, you mean?
Yeah, still today. Yeah. No. And then I exercise. I mean, I train all day. I'm more conscious of like what I put in my body, you know, eating wise, food wise, because you are what you absorb.
Yeah.
Right. And
We've been talking about that all day
Yeah,
today.
we have.
it's true. And also like, and I'm so happy, like, you know, in the sense that like the lockdowns, like over the, you know, it put us all in check. Like, take care of yourself. It's like my daily routine. Like, what am I making today? And like my inner chef came out.
Yeah.
So, and you know, you prefer when you make your own food. It's like, all right, you can control it. You don't know a person's pinch of salt or this or whatever the fuck else they're doing. And then when you eat out, you gotta remember, eat at your own risk, right?
Yeah.
So it's hot down here, right? Now here's another thing people don't think about, right? Everybody's looking at hair and shit like that. If there's hair in your food, it's really not that bad. Why aren't you thinking about the chef that's over your dish sweating?
Oh my God!
Wasn't I talking about that the other day?
Video we looked at, we saw a video of this guy.
Dripping.
I'm telling you, have you ever been in the kitchen?
Yeah, of course. I used to work. I used to work.
I worked there too.
I started. Yeah,
Right?
I did everything. I dishwasher, prep, line chef.
Yeah, so you know,
I've done it too.
Yeah.
I was a bartender.
My family has like restaurants, and I grew up in this business, and it's you do your best, right? But some people just, or it's like even when it
they
comes
are not like, it's not like you're their child.
No,
If they fuck something up, they're not gonna give a fuck.
No. Well, it comes to hygiene and etiquette, right? Even in martial arts, right? There's reasons why I don't train jiu-jitsu like vigorously, because some people don't cut their nails, they don't brush their teeth, they don't put deodorant on, they don't, and it's still today. I remember I got cut on my forehead with a guy's toe, and I'm like, I stopped rolling. I'm like, bro, you are a grown ass man. Fuck you doing coming here and not cutting your nails and shit like that? I'm fucking bleeding from your toe on my forehead, and I have a gash on, and you're just fucked up, you know. And it's like, I'm so mad. Like, so I stopped doing gi and I just do like no gi and I wrestle or whatever. And I trained jiu-jitsu for like 7 years or whatever. So I'm like,
I said, I mean, like people. Sometimes I go a little crazy about this stuff, but I'm yelling on my TikTok live today. I said, have you ever gone down on somebody that eats shit every day? I was like, what the fuck does that taste like? I was like, people think I'm crazy. I'm like, I'm seriis.
Yeah. No, that's great.
And some smart asses, so it's not just eat some pineapple. I'm like,
the pineapple thing. So I crack on girls. I'm like, so eat pineapple, right?
Oh
like,
my
just
God,
like
no.
a little.
It's not gonna make up
You gotta
for
drink
the garbage
water.
that is in there.
Gallon.
But now, like when it comes to what we absorb, right?
Yeah.
All these things that we consume, right? We don't really fucking know what we're putting in our bodies. And women, you know, they have like pH issues. Yeast issues.
100%.
I train a lot of women. That's how I know this stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, it's like, you know, because like everybody, like, you know, I'm like
a lot of food related, yes.
But where do they put, like the problem with us is we don't have a local farm where we know, all right, that's the pig that they're going to kill, and I'm going to eat that today.
Well, maybe we should mention, if somebody don't understand what that meant, for when women get pH issues, we get like yeast infections and stuff. That's what it is.
No, of course, it sucks.
We got to be clear. I don't know if people know.
No, it's all good. And then what it does to your mental state for a minute.
Correct.
You know, because it's like, you know, it's embarrassing. Because again, like I have a lot of clients. A lot of them are women, and they say, "Was everything okay?" Like, "Oh, I'm having girl problems." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I don't need to know. I go, "You okay?" Like, "I look better," and then I fuck with them when we get pineapple.
I just feel like there's people think there is this little trick you can do to make up for it. If you put shit into your body all the time, you can't hide that. I even said it too. I'm not a person. I don't love perfumes and stuff. I have a perfume, I put it on, not every day. No. It's the same. You know that sometimes, like if I work from home all week, I'm not gonna fucking wash my hair. I'm not gonna wear deodorant, and believe it or not, my armpits does not smell like shit still.
Again, because it's what you consume.
Do you know what's 100%. In all of these products? You put it on your skin and it goes into your pores.
That's the thing too. And here come the stimulants, right? Like, we're incredible machines, but science in today's market, we're all fucked. So the best thing to do is work out, train, keep this.
Hit the sauna. Hit the sauna. I'm telling you right now.
Just walking outside. Like I live in Miami.
I'm telling you right now.
We've talked about it before. You know, the fact that, like, for example, everything comes in like plastic containers, and people's testosterone levels are just going like that. And that goes for men and women. That's just one part. I don't even know all the things that are messing up our hormones, but it's crazy.
That's why it's like I prefer glass bottles or glass containers. I mean, it costs more money, but like again, it's like not plastic. You're not getting. It's like you look at all those bottles of water, right? Now,
I use them. I know
from factory to the end product. How long are they exposed to sunlight?
Yes.
How long are they in what container for?
I agree.
It's like there's no really expiration date. You don't know when this fucking bottle was made.
Yeah.
And then here we are just drinking. I mean, granted, none of us are fucking nuts and like, where did this come from? And they ask these questions, but like,
we should. I said also baby steps. It's not like we can all change everything overnight, but
even
little
if
things.
you want to take it to another level, then get a reverse osmosis system.
Yeah, it's the same. I actually, so I heat up all my
water.
meals in my air fryer now instead of the microwave.
Yeah.
It's hard. I said, I'm only human too. I eat 6-7 times a day. Sometimes I use a microwave. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
This is just an example. But I said, and people say, don't do everything at the same time.
Yeah.
Do a little bit at a time.
Moderation.
Understand
moderation.
it's hard, man.
Moderation, a little bit here, a little bit there. Like it's like alcohol consumption, right? Like I fucking love tequila. Right? It's my happy thing. It's like I can't drink cognac though. Then then we'll have.
What happened to the cognac?
See, the cognac gets me a little like
Come on,
rowdy.
man.
It's rowdy. It gets me like why stuff? What are you looking at? Like it's in New York. I don't know. It's like I've had moments with cognac and
Yeah, I mean, I don't really, honestly, I
moments.
do not drink barely and ever, but if I do, I always have this rule of thumb. It's just like I drink cognac for special days.
Yeah, no. If you're drinking Louis 13, like that's a.
Nah, it's not even that. For me, it's like if I'm in a relationship, I'm drinking cognac.
Okay.
If I'm not, there's a secret. I think you know the secret
formula.
from Hennessy. There's something within Hennessy that I don't know. It's just guys, if you're listening right now, you guys know.
Yeah,
what
I want to
Hennessy
know
is.
now. Relationship cognac.
Yeah, Hennessy for the relationship, and if I'm out and about, I'll probably have a mule or something like that. That's about it.
Again, vodka.
A what?
A mule.
A Moscow mule.
Mule. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you said mead. It's a Viking. Viking brain.
That,
Yeah,
that's that honey. That's that honey.
Have you ever had mead?
Mead is great. It's
Yeah,
phenomenal.
we have. Can we just? I want to take you guys to Sweden sometime, and we're
Okay.
gonna go to the
Yeah.
medieval
Oh, yeah.
restaurants.
Awesome. So I'll tell them, fetch me my mead, wench. Like, call somebody wench.
Oh, and all the wild meats, like wild boar.
yeah.
Oh my
Wild boar's
god,
amazing. Oh, man.
I've never had that.
so good. We're gonna go to Sweden sometime. Either way, I wanted to just say the autoimmunity. So
Yes, sorry.
you say you're maintaining it pretty well with just exercising, eating.
I take a thyroid pill every day. I have to the rest of my life. But like, my exercise regimen, like, even for me, because I'm in the business, like I know to change my program every 6 weeks.
Yeah.
There are days my energy levels, because I'm working so much.
So are you still losing weight the same way
No.
you did?
No. I actually, the way I eat and stuff, so
Yeah.
I regulate it because I'm more in tune with my body.
Yeah.
Like I just dropped 7 pounds because I wanted to, because I want to be 40.
I think
and I wanna,
whether you gain or lose weight, as long as you do it consciously,
Yeah.
that's how it
But
should
I mean,
be.
so like when I used to fight at 155. I usually walk around 175, 180.
Yeah.
Because I'm healthy. I just like that weight.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, that's the same. Like,
but it would
lift
take me
weights
like 4 months to really lose that. I never did like dramatic weight cuts, because when you start doing that, it messes your hormones up. And it's like,
no.
But I would eat very bland and very boring.
Same.
Sounds like our lifestyle
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
great.
It's not. I don't think it's boring. People think it's boring.
Yeah.
To me,
No.
I love my food.
Yeah, no.
I love my
But
food.
like when
It's
it's bland,
Yeah.
it's just sad. It's just sad.
Do you think it's sad?
I think it's sad.
I love my food.
Honestly,
my food
what
is
I-
bland, but I love it.
This is how I cook my meals.
Was it? Do you have to do it that way? Is that what you mean?
Because like I'd have to hit 155. And it's like,
Oh, you mean for that? But
for-
why does it have to be bland?
because salt for me, like my body retains things.
You can't have any salt.
Yeah, I try not.
Can you do any other salt-free seasoning?
See, maybe like paprika or like olive oil,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But even balsamic vinegar.
Yeah.
But
No,
it's
but like
gotta
0 calorie stuff,
be-
like the seasonings.
Nah,
No,
I just
like
kept it
salt-free.
that,
I mean, whatever
Because
works for
again,
you.
when you're fighting too, you need energy, you need clean fuel.
Yeah.
It's
No, I meant like the all herb. I don't use it myself.
So
So,
usually my diet plan when I used to fight, one day vegan, one day pescatarian.
yeah.
So and then once a month.
You know what? I love that you said that, because I tell people all the time this. I don't believe in, people, there are just diets. There's paleo, there's keto, there's vegetarian. I said, I don't believe in that. That is somebody coming up with a diet, but you should have it customized for you. So I love the fact that you said that you're doing vegan and pescatarian, because they're literally against each other,
Of
right?
course. And then once a month I have
but
a
it
fucking
works
steak,
for you.
Yeah,
I love that. I
that's the
tell
thing,
people
too. It's
all
like
the time.
Everybody that I work with too, and like, I need to find out. I tell them, go work with a nutritionist, get your blood work done, and then there's your map. That's your map.
Yes.
Mine,
Food sensitivity
it's like
test.
When people ask me, what should I eat? What should I do? I go, here's the general rule of thumb, right? foods that have, if you're buying in a box and you look at the sodium level, it needs to be at 200 or below, right? That's your general rule. If there's more than 4 ingredients, you don't know how to pronounce it, don't eat it.
Exactly.
And drink more water.
Yeah.
You know, if you like coffee, have green tea.
Actually, when I'm on prep, I only eat 1 ingredient foods.
Oh, yeah.
And people are like, what do you mean? I'm like broccoli. That's a 1 ingredient food.
Oh.
Rice.
Yeah.
They're not the pre-made cookie microwave shit. Like that's 1 ingredient. Like buy a fucking steak. That's 1 ingredient. Like no marination. No like this and this. Just one fucking ingredient. I don't know why it's so difficult.
But you know what? It's because we have become, you know, we're again products of our environment, and we are very. There's a lot of convenience.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to go and kill our animal and butcher it.
Yeah.
We go to a butcher. We have it already made. We have too many options.
Yeah.
Things are so easily accessed. Like I'm pretty sure if it took us a while to get food, we'd all look great because we.
Of course, because I mean, to be honest with you, just to touch base on what you just said, you know, I used to do. I'd probably do after this the nomad diet. I'd eat 1 meal a day because if you think about it, back in that time, they would hunting with their foods. There were times where they couldn't eat, they couldn't find food to hunt, and the whole time they're literally fasting and fasting and fasting. So they're not over. Stressing out their organs by eating these many meals a day.
I wish I could do that.
So here's the thing.
You
like,
could.
You know what's cool?
I can't do fasting.
You talk about the fasting thing?
I've tried for 3 months. I have blood sugar sensitivity, so I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like I lay on the ground. I don't. I'm not a human.
Yeah.
I don't function.
Interesting.
So I said I've tried it. Like I've actually tried it. It doesn't work.
But now say, and let's flip it right now. Say you were you were Muslim. And you had to practice Ramadan.
I don't believe in eating according to religion.
No, but I'm just saying.
No, I did Ramadan 3 times.
I'm just giving you an example, right? Because you know that you have an issue with your blood sugar, and you can't eat from sunrise to sunset, so you have that gap at night. So you fast all day. Now, if you look at fasting and you look at it from the Buddhist belief or the Muslim belief, what it's meant to do truly is to strengthen your cells.
Yeah.
From a molecular level, right? You have mitochondria. Right, the energy. The cells, they die after 30,000 duplications and they fade off. Right, that's usually what happens. When you're in starvation mode or when you fast, what's going on to the cell is it becomes stronger because your duration, it's not triggering something that's in your digestive system or something like that. So in terms, your body then recharges. You live longer, technically. When a free radical comes in, boom, your receptors attack it faster. As opposed that's the science behind it.
No, I would. Do you think I said so? For me, I tried it for 3 whole months.
Yeah.
So basically, what happens when I wait? Because I don't remember how many hours fasting. I think I did 14 hours.
Okay.
So.
Is that including your sleep though? Do you sleep 6-7 hours down fasting? Or
I can't remember. I would eat very late in the day.
Okay.
This is many years ago. Yeah. So the fact, like I never improve. So what happens first is my stomach swells up like a balloon, literally, and it starts to hurt, very irritated. Yeah. And it still happens now. If I don't eat in 5 hours, immediately, it looks like I'm pregnant.
Interesting.
And it's been my whole life like that.
Yeah.
And then after that, I shaking. I'm shaking it so bad, I feel like I'm going to throw up.
You have to have chocolate or something like that.
Yeah, yes. So when I was a kid, sometimes, I was a kid. I didn't fucking, sometimes I would walk around all day and I don't know how many times we've been on like a vacation. I'm laying on the ground and my mom is desperately running around trying to buy chocolate and put in my mouth.
Yeah, she just it's just her body specifically. Not everybody, I guess, could do it. Yeah.
No, it's very interesting.
Yeah, not everybody.
Individualized. So it's like, you're an interesting case study.
Yeah.
Very. Yeah, very.
I said, when I die, please donate my body to science.
I'll be pretty honest, I want a Viking funeral. Somebody should.
No, because I've actually thought, I thought I had autoimmune disease because of the way my body reacts to things, but I don't.
But it's funny, but even with the whole autoimmune disease or being sick and having cancer, stuff like that, sometimes we, it's like a pity thing. And it's not a pity, like mortality, right?
Yeah.
We only have 0 to 100 if you look at it that way, right? Where things can happen, freak accidents, whatever. You gotta, even say if something does happen and you're still alive, you fight. You gotta fight. You gotta really fight to see another day because it's the thrill of living. Because death is inevitable.
Could we go back on what you said earlier when you talked about Ramadan? I've actually done Ramadan 3 times. The first time it was the most the most hardest
Of course. You can't
thing
have water.
in the world. You can't have water nor food until sunset, right? Sunset.
Wait, so from what time?
Sunrise, sunsets. Okay.
Yeah,
Sunrise,
4:30.
sunset.
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever.
So you can eat during the night?
Well, in 7:30. That's the only time you can drink water or eat.
Yeah.
So
At
you're
7:30.
fasting all day
You don't have the
technically.
nighttime to eat. Basically, you're a vampire.
Yeah, but you can eat whatever during that time.
But
yeah.
keep in mind,
Well-
though, you know, you want to eat. You don't want to have pains.
Oh yeah, for
You
sure.
really watch. It's like even having like a steak at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
The inflammation.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
crazy. So you got to be
Yeah.
conscious of
Yeah.
what's on. But
So what did you eat when you didn't?
No, I ate pretty clean. I didn't eat junk, but I felt amazing. The longer I did it, like when I went through the entire process of Ramadan, it was the strongest and the best that I've ever felt. I would literally, and I would train. I would still work out. I would still do cardio. I would still lift weights.
you didn't feel dizzy.
I didn't. In the beginning, of course, I would feel very dizzy, but it was a point when I started noticing that I was getting stronger. It was so weird because I remember being in the park and just throwing frisbee around with a friend of mine. Like that was our way of doing cardio during the pandemic. We couldn't even go to the gym.
Right.
We couldn't do anything. Yeah,
Close.
yeah. But it was just like it's like we're actually focusing on our vert.
Yeah.
So it was like we're throwing it up and see how far and how far we could jump. And I remember sprinting, right? Fastest I've ever ran in my life. Actually, it was so interesting. So we got it on slow-mo and I was like, damn, he's like, how are you not eating the entire day and you're training like this and your body's just like on an optimal level? It's insane.
It's because you don't have any impurities in your body.
Indeed.
And like I said, your cells, your cellular strength, the cellular strength.
Wow.
That's what's going on.
Yeah.
Wait, so
It's
how long did you do it for? How long?
Oh,
did you
30
do it for?
days.
30 days.
Yeah.
And did you somehow try to still fit your macros when you ate, or you just?
It
didn't
was
care
about,
that?
I was eating about, to be quite honest, about probably like 2,000 calories, 2,200
But you
calories.
still try to get in some sort of.
No, I was eating a good enough protein, good
Yeah.
enough carbohydrates, good enough vegetables because,
I just feel like if I actually got through with it, I would literally look like a toothpick.
oh no, you do lean out. You do lean out.
No,
I mean,
of course, everybody does.
but they do say, I want to go, you're touching on a lot of great topics. You actually, I saw a video and I want your opinion on this. The more you fast, you actually build muscle during that process also. That's what they're saying.
Well, it's
Yeah.
again though.
Depending
it's
on-
depending on the individual.
Yeah, correct.
Right? Some people, when they do fast in starvation mode, your body holds on to fat. They can't even lose it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's that whole. And you don't know.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
But if you take it back, ask that individual when did they start working out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
Boom.
where that's
There
where,
it is.
This is the thing. Between like 12 and 15 is the time where you can actually shift your genetic makeup. You know, like, say I have two older brothers, right? And they took after my mother's genes, and they're like big and like, they're not like me because like I started working out when I was 13, 14, and like.
Oh yeah, I was 8 when I started.
And also like in my family.
You guys should see my
Wait a
sister
minute,
and how
8?
different we look. 8. Tennis.
Oh,
I played-
okay.
I had a,
Okay, yeah,
I had
yeah,
my
we're all
own- I had
sports.
my own
Sports. Gotcha.
trainer 3 days a week.
Okay, so you were really.
I've always been, yeah.
But
And then
see-
you would see, if you saw my sister,
she look like?
she's super short, super curvy.
Okay, interesting, right?
I wonder if she's the same. Hey, sis.
It's really,
No, like,
so
she's
we have that
Very,
power
very
to shift.
girly shape to her.
So when people like, you know, I have a 10-year-old that I train. He's like, he goes, should I be doing this? Is it going to stunt my growth? I go, who told you that? Where did you hear this? It's like the whole, like, I'm not making you put squats and stuff like that. I'm like, you're going to have a growth spurt. It all depends on your genetics and like your makeup. But start them young, start them working. It's like, you know, you take it back like 1,000 years ago. You're on a farm. You're born, you start working. That's just how it is.
Yep,
This is how it is.
I like that. I like that.
Come here, let's
That's
kill
what we
something.
gotta do if I ever have kids.
Put right to work.
That's true. Put 'em to
it's
work.
just how it is what it is.
Yeah.
There's no sugarcoating things. You know, it's like
No,
earn your keep.
Yeah.
I agree.
But yeah, I think if people have kids, they need to be responsible enough to even if the parents are not like that, don't let your kids be like you then.
Yeah, that's the
Like
thing,
what?
because we try to mold them.
Yeah, because I feel like they should still understand. Even if people are older and they're like, no, fuck, it's too late to start something, but don't let it. Like,
No, but
why
but
would you
one
mess
thing,
up
though,
your kids?
Don't mess them up, but give them good habits.
Yeah.
Good protocol. Like look at it's like just take alcohol for example in Europe versus America. In Europe, they're exposed to it at a young age that wine is part of the meal.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no AA in Europe. I mean, there are alcoholics, but like it's not as like prevalent here, where there's issues with alcohol consumption and drunk driving and all this kind of stuff. Where over there, it's more like because it's been accepted and it's been brought into culture at a younger age. I don't know. It's just.
Let me ask you a question. I saw this video that's going around that's surfacing. Her name is Dr. Gabriella Leon. I don't know if you've heard of her yet, but she's saying that today's society, it's not the problem that we're over fat, we're under muscled. She stated,
I mean, I agree, because think of under muscled. And I argue with so many people about this. People that don't know how to train, they overtrain or whatever, they follow fads. It's like, all right, so there's 168 hours in a week. You know, what do you commit to yourself? Minus the work and stuff like that. Now, the average person, they sleep, they wake up, they go to a cubicle, they sit at a desk or they're on a computer for 10 hours, and they get up, back in the car, back home, boom, maybe go to the gym 1 hour, and at that gym 1 hour, they're doing their max amount of effort. Are they wearing their heart rate monitor? Are they being, you know, this is why, like, there's studies between training with a trainer or yourself. You obviously get more results with a trainer because they're holding you accountable, where you don't have to think, you just have to do.
Correct.
But we are in a very lazy society.
Yeah.
Everybody wants that pill. They want that
quick fix.
They want that quick fix.
Everything
Even with that quick fix, you still got to work.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Even if you take something,
Doesn't matter.
You
Still gotta work.
I always tell people, like with everything, do things with purpose.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna go train, because people are like, oh my god, how many hours a day do you train? I don't train for hours.
No.
If I do upper body, I go in for 1 hour,
that's it.
and then I'm done. But when I train, I know what the fuck I'm doing in there. Like I pay attention to every movement.
Very
I got
detailed.
so mad at my clients the other day. They trained with me at 7 a.m. Then I see them lifting at like 8. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, you just with me for an hour. Your body's in a catabolic state, and you're gonna fucking rip your shoulder out.
Yeah.
They're like, well, I didn't know. I'm like, unless you want to train at 9 o'clock, I'll sleep and I'll come in at 9 and train. Because what you're doing, I mean, you're totally, you just disregard it, or like it just doesn't make any sense. You're not going to get any results.
Nope.
Like, and then here's the thing: there's a lot of good information, there's a lot of bad information out there too, and it's up to us to like try to educate as best as we can, you know. But or you see it all the time. These people that take back-to-back classes. I'm like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Because they think the more they do, the better it's going to work.
And
but that's not the case.
And then you see them
need to
fatigue.
rest and recover and eat. Or they don't eat.
No, they don't eat. And
They train and don't eat.
No, recovery is key too. Like I wish I knew more.
I mean, I feel like we've all made those mistakes.
Yeah,
I definitely trained 3 hours a day for like a long time ago, and didn't eat enough. Did shit ton of cardio. Like I don't even do cardio now.
No, but again, it's I guess it's the life stages, right? Where you know, and then who you're surrounded with.
Yeah.
You know, try to surround yourself with people that are smarter, that are in the field.
And I feel like people that actually execute, not people that just say.
Yeah.
Because you can't. Like it's the same with I said people do whatever they want, but I don't like doctors very much in general. No. And I also say I told you about my physical therapist the other day. I love him because he competes in bodybuilding, and every single thing that we talk about and we do, he does it to himself. Yeah. Like, why? How do you listen to a doctor? Oh, but my doctor told me I can't train. Let me ask you this. What does your doctor look like? Yeah. Does he exercise?
No, of course.
Does he eat? Is he fat or skinny? Or like, please tell me what your doctor looks like. How is this person... How can they tell you what the fuck to do when they don't even know how to do it for themselves?
Yeah, that's another thing.
It's also too, like with doctors, like there's more studies now, say after you get a procedure done, keep moving. Don't just stay there. You want that blood circulating in your body. It's like, obviously you can't do certain.
Yeah, we got to be careful.
Move or you swim.
No, they say, oh, my doctor told me I can't do anything for 8 weeks. Oh,
but that's the thing. Everybody wants that. There's a lot of sheep out there.
Yeah.
Right? That's the whole thing. And everybody needs to be told, and even these professionals, do this, do that. Like, for example, like the whole pandemic, right? The lockdown. Yeah. So I trained a lot of doctors, cardiologists, nutritionists, all this stuff. They said to me before the whole mask thing and all this crazy stuff, all right, everybody, look, there's a pandemic going on. Everyone should try to lose 10 to 15 pounds. Really be cautious of what you're putting in your body, because there's this thing going on. Best thing to do, gut health. Gut health.
Yes.
Then, instead, everybody's wearing a mask, watching their TV at home.
And eating.
Yeah. And then they're stressed the fuck out.
Yeah.
And it's
but that information never went out publicly, though.
No.
Nobody said that to anybody.
On the news, it's all about mask mandates, this thing, lockdown here, lockdown there, but not like, guys, exercise and well-being.
Yeah.
Spend some time.
Going to that, what we just touched on earlier with being under muscular and then over fat.
Yeah.
They were saying that now the more muscle that you have in your body, it actually prevents diseases, and actually could save you from the pandemic because of the more muscular skeletal that you are. You have in your skeletal, you have, you're stronger, you live longer, and things like that, and it's less for you to get sick or anything like that. And I've noticed that because I've been lifting weights since 14 years old. I mean, I played football around the same time that she...
Wait, we're going to get close to his age. He doesn't admit.
I'm 2,000 years old, if anybody wants to know.
2000. It's like, I saw this comedy, the stand-up thing on Netflix with Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
And they're saying this white people age horribly while black people age really well, and Latinos are the best. So like people stand up in the audience is like, motherfucker over there is 13 years old, but he looks like he's 80. White guy. And then they have some other guys. He's 100.
What's your background, your descent?
So I'm Italian, mostly from Naples and Sicily.
Gotcha.
And then we did our DNA test. My mom, we are Chinese and Middle Eastern as well.
Oh wow,
Spanish, but Mediterranean. So like that.
So that way you still look pretty young. I mean, for your age, it's crazy.
I mean, thank God. I mean, but also like my mother's side, my grandfather. He was 94. He looked good for 94.
Wow.
Yeah.
But again, too, the aging process, right? And we talked about manifestation.
Yeah.
I believe, and call it what you will. It's like who you are inside.
Wow, please touch on this. I love this.
No, it shows. It shows through your eyes, through your soul. Like if you're bitter in life, then how will you age bitter?
Yeah.
And like you see it.
The same. I think that if you believe in your mind that you are going to be sick, you're going to be sick.
The mind is it's incredible. It's incredible. Like meditation and focus. But who you are truly, like if you're loving and if you're kind, it'll age with grace. Granted, maybe bad things may happen to you in life, but like your physical appearance, but also the initiative on taking care of yourself.
Oh, of course.
Some people have great genetics, but after a while that goes to shit.
It's not gonna work.
But also it's like how do you work? What's your work ethic like? It's like a lot of us, we exist, we don't live, right? Or we get into I know a lot of very wealthy people that are the poorest.
Yeah.
And it's
I always say that.
Yeah, or even like the whole manifestation on who you are. You ever like go near people and you just feel off? Or you feel like they're higher and stuff like that.
Yes.
So you got to be in tune with that right now. This comes through training, both martial arts and both like lifting. Like you're in tune with it's like this realm of energy. Call it a spirit realm. I don't fucking know, but it's like. Or it's like, even like when you see like, certain people in the gym, they're all about ego as opposed to science and like, you could talk to, you shouldn't just avoid.
Yeah.
Like, all right, buddy. Like, yeah, good for you that you're on 1,000 milligrams or what. So, but just in general though, it's like, just be good, if you can, you'll age with grace. I believe that.
I think so too. Is that be kind to people and cheer for others.
Yeah.
I don't understand like jealousy.
Well, that's the thing with society. That's the thing with the whole even Instagram and like whatnot. Remember, misery loves company, right? And everybody, in this digital world, they hide who they truly are because they're either ashamed or they're embarrassed or whatever. But it's this whole battle of the class. Yeah. Right. And it's really fucked up because we shouldn't live based on. Granted, money does buy you time. But like our lives shouldn't be just on a scorecard of what you have in the bank or what you feel you own, because you can't take this shit with you when you die.
No.
So that's why I've become a minimalist. It's like, and it's like less is really more. Like you really don't need a lot of shit because then what? It's like I got a lot of rooms to clean, got a lot of cars to clean. And you give yourself this routine, and then you neglect taking care of yourself.
I agree.
Because
I agree.
All this other shit, or you're trying to please everybody else. So you have to be a good selfish.
Yeah, I said too. Like the only reason I was always anti-social media, I hated it. I worked behind the scenes for like 15 years, but now like the reason I want to be on there, that's why I get when all these people come on and hate. I said, do you know what you're doing right now? I don't care that you hate me. I don't care you think I'm ugly. But do you know what you're doing? You're taking up time from the people that want and need help.
Yeah.
I'm here to, if we want help, do you know how giving it is to try to help somebody? Like, I want to help people.
Yeah.
And you're sitting here and taking up their time. And right now, I am missing a message from somebody that desperately wanted my help.
Yeah.
Like, just leave.
Well,
like,
I think they don't understand because they're in their own little self-centered world.
They're in the troll academy.
Me, or they're narcissistic or stuff like that, or they don't agree with what you're doing, or they're jealous. Obviously.
Yeah.
But like you know, all of us here, we're in the business of saving lives. You know,
Yeah, and it's like help others and you will succeed.
Absolutely. Like to serve is the value of humankind. That's what I mean. Other animals do it, you know, but like the human to human contact, we help each other. Like you know, but then obviously social law exists. Like you know, don't steal from me. I won't cut your hand off. Like
of course.
But, and then religion, all this other, you know. But yes, you know, service to others. That's like the best thing anyone can do. You know, and showing that and do it like with no intent. Like you know, I'll give you the shirt off my back. I was raised that way. I don't want anything. You know, even like, you know, with, you know, I'll tell you this too, like the classes that I teach at Boxer, they want to pay me. I'm like, no, you guys do enough for me. I don't want to be paid for classes. I make enough money with my private clients and the videos that they make for me. Like, I know how much they're paying that videographer. I'm like, that's enough.
Yeah.
You know,
It's an incredible gym. I absolutely thank God for placing that gym where it's,
it's got to evolve. I mean, we got to figure out how to work out. It's the growing pains, you know.
Yeah.
AC will help.
No, you want the AC on there? Please no AC.
No, it's got to be like maybe 74 because it was 89 in there the other day, and I was like,
89. That's perfect.
You know,
it was 89. I thought it was 80. Okay, let's make a deal.
Like,
80. Let's say 80.
All right, 80 will be good. No, I don't mind because
I'm
losing electrolytes. I'm like,
okay, fair enough.
Wait, look, I'll put this in perspective. I had my heart rate monitor on in a 13-hour span that I was there. 4,784 calories.
Okay, that's
4,784 calories.
Yes.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm not even working out. I'm moving with my clients.
I bet.
Every hour is a different hour for
You know what? I think we got to wrap it up. But we want you to come back.
Yeah.
We have so much more to talk about.
Right,
I'm more like, if we go too long in the podcast, I feel like people are not going to have energy to really listen because we've said a lot of important things.
Yeah.
Sure,
so let's make a definite comeback very soon.
No, we got to schedule you back in. We have a lot more questions.
Touch the surface.
Yeah.
I knew we were gonna have we don't even have to plan this. It would just it's just gonna go.
You know?
Oh yeah.
So, cool. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much for
having
coming.
me on. Pleasure. You know, looking forward to coming back.
I'm kind of bummed out.
I'll put in the description too, but do you just want to tell people your social media, website or something?
You can follow me on Instagram. It's Sifu SIFU_AF. So my name is Anthony Fontana. It's not Sifu as fuck.
I'm gonna write it in the comments too.
And follow me there. You see me at Boxer Gym. I also own a school in Brooklyn, New York called Unlimited Martial Arts, or UMA. If you're ever in Williamsburg, go check it out. I got my whole team up there, and it's
I want to go there.
Yeah,
I haven't been in Williamsburg.
It's really cool. It's on 505 Union Avenue. It's a really cool spot in Brooklyn. It's got that dojo vibe. Like you walk in, you feel like.
I used to live right over there. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's chill.
I'm bummed out, man. We gotta end this. I'm bummed out. I have so many questions.
Let's just save them.
I know.
So, Joe Rogan's doppelganger signing off.
Thank you guys. Stay tuned for more.
Gotcha.